is, of course, Neo Planet S. Spawning up in the top right-hand position as the orange Zerg from SK Telecom T1. His name is SoO.
No, because it's orange, it really looks like the actual logo if you look at the SK logo on the hatchery.
You're right. I don't know why I keep mixing up the yellow and oranges.
Well, it's because of the lighting on the map.
Ah.
Let's introduce our Protoss player from Team 8. His name is Terminator, spawning as blue Protoss on the left bottom position on Neo Planet S.
So, you know, we already saw one EVZ, and, I guess the races are switched around for the teams this time around. So we're going to have to see if Terminator can have a little bit more success against Zerg than Bisu did last game.
Yeah, since the map is smaller, it's easier to wall off at the natural, and since Terminator did put the pylon over there, it's going to be a Forge Fast expand by Terminator, whether it's a Forge first or Nexus first.
Yep, exactly. Both perfectly safe and solid builds to do. The Forge, generally you can try to punish Zerg players that go for the hatchery first if you want to opt with that opening. Or, you just go for the Nexus first and go for the most economic play, essentially.
I'm just curious to see what the Protoss players are going to decide to do on this map. Yes, they do have the amazing record, but when it comes to the matchups these days, Protosses, they have a harder time taking the third base because of the Hydras and the Roaches. They need perfect force fields, and since the third base is slightly further away from the natural compared to all the other maps out there, it's a little bit hard for Protoss players to take a third on this map and establish it. I mean, people think that Whirlwind is bad because of the path from the natural to the third base, and it doesn't really favor Protoss. This map, it's longer. Now, granted, he does have the smaller choke that he could work with, and he could have perfect force fields. He only needs 5 force fields to block off the Zerg army.
Yeah, interesting. We do see a 15 Nexus, 15 Forge from Terminator before he's scouted. Generally, we'll see the Nexus go down. Yeah, it's 16 if they don't scout, or even 17 if they opt to scout after building that pylon there. But just a little tiny change in the build order. Nothing really dramatic or crazy, but just something to note.
So I guess he was maybe afraid of SoO going for some type of early pull earlier in the game because he didn't scout his opponent, and SK Telecom T1, they're known for these really tricky build orders and catching their opponent off guard, especially with Boxer as their head coach.
Yep, do have some Zerglings chasing this scouting probe away. The cannon is going to finish from Terminator, though, before the Zerglings can get to his base, so that probe will survive the mine yet another day. Gas going down for our Protoss player as well, just moving into a standard macro game as our Zerg player takes his third base as well as his natural.
Nope, the probe did not live another day.
Oh.
Well, if you have the 2 Zerglings on the probe, then the Zerglings can take it out eventually. It just depends on how fast do you react against the Zerglings, and, when do you react? Because if you're full health, you can get to your main base without losing the probe. If they're about 50% down, you're gonna lose the probe no matter what.
Yeah, we do have another probe moving out here from Terminator. He wants to try that and scout that third base out and make sure it's going up, because Zerg players, there are some 2-base all-ins and builds they can do. If you don't scout them, then it's certainly possible to lose to them. But he does see that, and it looks like Terminator will, be safe, knowing that his opponent's just going for that macro play.
So I'm just curious to see how Terminator is going to open up, because we've been seeing, the regular Stargate into Robo get the Colossus out and start getting some other units when the Corruptors start coming out. Add in some Templars against the Vipers, but we've seen some players like Flying using only pure Void Rays to open up, establish a fast third base, and then going into complete Sky Toss. And we've seen some other players like Deer do it in Pro League. So can Terminator, is he going to play the standard style that every other Protoss has been playing, or is he going to go for the Stargate and then, stay Sky Toss?
Well, the Stargate is being created here from Terminator, and like you said, the question is, will we go for the Void Rays or the Phoenix first? Generally, nowadays, Void Rays do indicate a faster third, and the Phoenix indicate that you want to harass and take that map control.
So we have 8 more Zerglings coming out. Seems like he doesn't want to get harassed by the Zergling at all. Trying to get his complete surround. Also trying to account for the extra Stalker that's going to come by really soon, because, one Zod and one Stalker, if you migrate properly, the Queen gets taken out no problem. And one Queen traded for one Zod is a really nice trade, but one Zod for the Zerglings, it's not a great trade.
He does manage to kill off 4 Zerglings there. He does lose a Zealot. Stalker trying to run away here as well. Phoenix is on the way from Terminator here, so he is going to just go open up quite standard here, getting the +1 attack behind this. And actually, second Stalker out now, going to force more Zerglings out of SoO. And he's putting down the Roach Warren as well, but I don't think we have any Zergling speed on the way yet.
He's just going to use the gas on the Roach and then possible Hydras that's going to follow up right after. Standard Zerg play, I have to say, these days. And Terminator, after using the Phoenixes to scout around, let's see what tech choice he goes for.
Yeah, we have some nice harassment here actually from Terminator, stepping up a few units, but with the additional Zerglings, he will have to back out of there. Zergling speed has started now, 4 more Zerglings on the way. I really have to say that Terminator, this opening from him has actually proven quite useful, forcing a lot more Zerglings than drones out of his opponent here.
Forcing a lot more Zerglings and also sniping few drones when it was getting transferred to the third base. Nice play. He's going to try to lift the Queen, but with only 2 Phoenixes, he's going to need more than 2 lifts.
Yeah, and on top of that, there is a second Queen created at the third. They're going to force those Phoenixes completely out of there until more are done. Twilight Council on the way, and we have a lot more gateways going down as well.
So usually you'll only get up to 4 gateways total if you're going to go for the third base, but Terminator, he's not going to go for the third base. Instead, he's going to apply some really heavy pressure, or possibly an all-in behind this. Or maybe he's just trying to get so many units out before establishing a really late third.
Well, he is getting the Blink right now in addition to the +1, so we could be seeing a Blink Stalker +2 timing from him. That's very possible here. I believe Oz did a build like this, or another player, very recently against the Zerg, so he could be going for that, maybe even trying to take a third base behind this and then apply heavy pressure afterward. Probe moving over to the third base, so I think that's what we may end up seeing here.
But this might also be a fake. Remember that. He's building a pylon over there, but just because you saw the probe going towards the third base doesn't mean... Nice Zealot block. Didn't really see it behind this gateway for a second.
Terminator not going to repeat the mistakes of Bisu from last game, having a Zealot there in hold position against those Zerglings. Not going to allow them to go in and have a heyday against the probes there. Now the third base is spotted by SoO, so he'll be able to sigh knowing that that's going to be out. And the Spire has just completed 6 Corruptors on the way here, but that's actually not what he should be making at this point in the game, because his opponent, he's going for Blink and he's getting the +2 right now. No Colossus in sight.
Well, here's the thing. People expect Colossus at this time. You know, all the Zerg players, they're like, oh, hey, you know, this is a regular Stargate into the Robo play, and, you know, I have to get the Corruptors out against the Colossus. Terminator trying to fool his opponent, even showing that he has a quote-unquote Colossus out on the field.
Very, very smart play from Terminator here. He has essentially completely fooled his opponent, Terminator, here, and I think that SoO may try to snipe out some Colossus, go for attack, but, you know, he's going to realize that these are fake.
And there's 4 more gateways, so Terminator, the third, he's not going to mind from it that much. He's making some probes out, but he's going to get some extra minerals and go for it. One huge push with the +2 Blink Stalkers, and now he knows, it's like, why did the Colossus die so early, man? Where did it go?
I think SoO realizes what is going on here now. The +2 just about to complete. We have a lot of gateway production that'll be following this attack here. And those Blink Stalkers, they have +2 Sentry support. There is no Colossus AoE support, but that's not the real danger here. That fourth base gonna get forced to cancel here. And unfortunately, SoO does not cancel that expansion. He's gonna lose it. And now all he has is Zerglings and some Roaches against this Blink Stalker heavily upgraded army.
And even using the Phoenixes to lift up some of the Roaches to take out the DPS. More Stalkers are coming in from behind. But this is going to be a battle between the reinforcements by both of these players. If Terminator does not take out the hatchery, then this is not going to go favorable for him. But there's more Stalkers coming in.
Oh man, that Stalker count getting quite dangerous right now for SoO. Terminator even not afraid to use a forward blink there. And the Roach count 14 to 23 Stalkers. The Protoss player is in an excellent position right now. Charging near the natural with this extra warp in. I think he's just going to move back, try to take that expansion. But there are 17 Roaches on the way for our Zerg player.
Now remember, he does have the Blink Stalkers, but he doesn't have any sentries left with the main force, so he needs to be careful on how he engages the main army of SoO.
At the Roaches trying to get a good potential surround here. There are 26 to 31 Stalkers, but with good Blink Micro. The Roaches will eventually follow these Stalkers. Terminator doing his best, the micro, and killing off so many roaches there. Forward blink going down. The Stalkers simply, they are not dying. There's just too many of them. The critical mass has been hit, and now the Stalkers moving into the third base. Now moving back. They are dancing, actually, in front of SoO's base. I think that SoO's realized he's died, even using 2 time warps on his own army, showing how confident he is in this build.
To be analytical, that's going to slow the roach reinforcement getting to the Stalkers, but I'm pretty sure that is not the case today with the Stalkers dancing around. The Mother's Core does get taken out, but doesn't matter because there's 37 Stalkers out on the field. GG.
Terminator winning a very convincing game there over SoO. I have to say that that was a very cool build order from him. He fooled his opponent completely.